Hello, Namaskar and welcome to Express News with me Deepika, your window to quick and crisp 100 news updates from the country and the world. Let's begin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana in Uttar Pradesh as the state celebrates 5th of August as the PMGKAY Day. The Prime Minister says 5th of August will be remembered in history. Article 370 was abrogated in Jammu and Kashmir. The first step was taken towards the construction of the Ram Temple in Ayodhya, and India bagged hockey medal on this day after 4 decades. Parliament proceedings disrupted again. Both houses witnessed repetitive adjournments. Uproar by opposition continues. It's 2 years of abrogation of Article 370. It was on this day in 2019 that the centre had brought resolution to repeal Article 370 of the Constitution to facilitate application of the Constitution of India to Jammu and Kashmir on par with other states and union territories. In Jammu, Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha held Tiranga rally on the occasion of 2 years of abrogation of Article 370. The Supreme Court today began its hearing on a batch of petitions that have sought a court-monitored investigation into the Pegasus snooping matter. The court has posted the matter for further hearing for 10th of August. Senior BJP leader Ravi Shankar Prasad said that the government is ready for discussion. However, the opposition led by Congress is not serious. He also said that there has been no prima facie evidence of taping phone numbers. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has informed that every affected family will get 50 kilograms of food grains by the government. Besides, state administrations will also ensure availability of proper drinking water facility. He added that relief work is underway on war footing. Relief and rescue operations are being carried out in full swing in flood-affected areas. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan is constantly monitoring the flood situation arising out of the heavy rains in northern MP. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath visited Ayodhya to mark the first anniversary of the Bhumi Pujan of Ram Temple. He offered special prayers. Minister of External Affairs S. J. Shankar is on a 2-day visit to Iran from today onwards. He will attend the swearing-in ceremony of the President-elect Ayatollah Sayyid Ibrahim Raisi today. During his visit, the EAM will call on the President and on the sidelines will also meet other leaders. In a joint statement, Government of Assam and Mizoram welcome and agree to take forward the initiatives taken by Union Home Ministry and Chief Ministers of Assam and Mizoram to remove tensions prevailing around the interstate borders and to find lasting solutions to the disputes through discussions. The Enforcement Directorate has conducted raids in the house of former Minister and Congress MLA Zamir Ahmed Khan early morning today. Today, as part of India at 75 celebrations, Ambassador of India to Bhutan, Ruchira Kamboj, handed over the prestigious Brunel Medal to Leonpon Loknath Sharma, Chairman, Mangtechu Hydroelectric Project Authority. India and World Bank have signed $250 million project to make existing dams safe and resilient. The project aims for long-term dam safety program and improving the safety and performance of existing dams across various states of India. Union Power Minister R.K. Singh that power supply in rural areas has increased to 22.5 hours from 12 hours, while in urban areas it has increased to 23.5 hours in urban areas. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia today held a meeting with the chairman of Dr. Reddy's lab, Dr. Satish Reddy, in New Delhi. In a tweet, Mandavia said, and I quote, he held a discussion on the production of the Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine and its supply. Covaxin has received a certificate of good manufacturing practice compliance from the Hungarian authorities. The approval received is from the National Institute of Pharmacy and Nutrition, Hungary, certifying the GMP for the manufacture of Covaxin. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia says Airport Authority of India has awarded 6 airports, namely Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, Guwahati, Thiruvananthapuram, Mangaluru for operations, management and development under PPP to Adani Enterprises Limited for lease period of 50 years. 48.93 crore vaccine doses have been administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Over 3.09 crore recoveries have been recorded so far across the country, out of which over 41,726 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. With this, the recovery rate has increased to 97.37%. 42,982 daily new cases in the last 24 hours have been recorded. India's active case load declines to 4,11,076. Active cases constitute 1.29% of the total cases. Weekly positivity rate continues to remain below 5% and currently stands at 2.37%. The daily positivity rate currently stands at 2.58%, which is less than 3% for last 10 days. The testing capacity has been substantially ramped up with 47.48 crore tests conducted so far. More than 51.01 crore vaccine doses have been provided to states as well as union territories so far through all sources, and a further 7,53,620 doses are in the pipeline. Of this, the total consumption including wastages is 48 crore 60,15,232 doses. Less than 50,000 daily new cases have been reported since 39 consecutive days now. This is a result of sustained and collaborative efforts by the centre and the states as well as union territories. 8 PILs filed in Calcutta High Court over delay in COVID-19 compensation to victims. CPIM leader Dr. Fuad Halim is one of the petitioners. The court has ordered filing of affidavit on why state has not provided any compensation to COVID-19 victims. Next hearing is scheduled for 12th of August. Himachal Pradesh government appoints Ram Subhag Singh as new Chief Secretary of State. Indian expat who is to return to Saudi Arabia for work files petition in Kerala High Court seeking permission to get re-vaccinated with Covishield vaccine as Covaxin is not recognized in Saudi. Petitioner already vaccinated with both shots of Covaxin. The Kerala High Court has sought centre's response. Bail application of dismissed Mumbai police officer Sachin Waze rejected by special NIA court. Also, NIA has been given 30 days extended time period for filing the charge sheet. The 30-share Sensex on Thursday jumped 123.07 points to end at fresh lifetime high of 54,492.84. Nifty 50 also rose 35.80 points to record 16,294.60. Gold prices on Thursday fell by 67 rupees on the MCX to end at 47,825 rupees per 10 gram. The silver prices also fell by 86 rupees on the MCX to end at 67,515 rupees per kilogram. Rupee gained 2 paise on Thursday to close at 74.17 against US dollar. Brent crude oil futures also rose by 0.71% to 70.88 USD a barrel. The petrol and diesel prices remained unchanged for the 19th consecutive day on Thursday. In Delhi, petrol prices remained at 101.84 rupees a litre, while the rate of diesel was at 89.87 rupees per litre. Khadi and Village Industries Commission (KVIC) has secured patent registration for its innovative plastic mixed handmade paper developed to reduce plastic menace from nature. The patent certificate was issued to KVIC's Kumarappa National Handmade Paper Institute, Jaipur, on 2nd of August 2021 by the Controller of Patent Intellectual Property of India. The plastic mixed handmade paper was developed under Project Replan. This is the first of its kind project in India where plastic waste is restructured, degraded, diluted and used with paper pulp while making handmade paper and thus reduces plastic waste from the nature. State Bank of India has announced that a few online services will be unavailable starting from Friday night. State Bank of India will undertake maintenance activities due to which SBI Internet Banking, YONO, YONO Lite and YONO Business will be down between 22.45 hours on 6th of August and 1:15 hours on 7th of August. The world continues to battle COVID-19 pandemic. So far, 20 crore 10 lakh and 64,000 cases have been reported worldwide, while recoveries stand above 18 crore 10 lakh and 54,000. The deadly virus has so far claimed over 42 lakh and 71,000 lives globally. The United States remains to be the worst hit by the pandemic with over 3 crore 61 lakh and 76,000 cases so far. The country has reported over 6 lakh 31,000 deaths so far. The World Health Organization (WHO) is calling for a halt on COVID-19 vaccine boosters until at least the end of September. WHO Chief Tedros Ghebreyesus said on Wednesday that the move was to enable that at least 10% of the population of every country was vaccinated. WHO chief said that even while hundreds of millions of people are still waiting for their first dose, some rich countries are moving towards booster doses. So far, more than 4 billion vaccine doses have been administered globally. Almost 9,000 Canadian border staff will begin walk-to-rule strike action starting on Friday, days before Canada begins allowing fully vaccinated US visitors in the country for the first time in 16 months. Canada will allow fully vaccinated US visitors into the country starting on Monday. South Korean President Moon Jae-in on Thursday announced his plans to invest $1.92 billion to turn the country into one of the world's 5 largest COVID-19 vaccine manufacturing bases by the year 2025. Australia's second most populous state, Victoria, has entered a 7-day lockdown on Thursday after a fresh outbreak of COVID-19 cases. Victoria State said it has detected 8 new cases, triggering a 1-week lockdown for the state's more than 6 million people. Japan reported an all-time high record of 14,207 new COVID-19 cases on Wednesday amid the continuous surge of infection cases across the country. This includes 4,166 cases in the metropolitan Tokyo. Japan decided on Thursday to expand its COVID-19 emergency corps to cover more than 70% of the population. Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga declared quasi-emergencies in 8 more of Japan's 47 prefectures. In Beirut, tear gas was used to disperse protesters who congregated near Parliament and hurled stones at security forces as civil unrest marked the first anniversary of the catastrophic Beirut port blast. In the United States, 10 people have died when an overloaded van crashed in southern Texas. As many as 30 people were in the vehicle that veered off Highway 281 in Encino, Texas, and struck a metal utility pole. The crash took place several miles from a U.S. border patrol checkpoint, and police said the passengers appeared to be illegal immigrants. Police added that the van did not have seats or passenger restraints. The van was traveling at a high speed at the time of the crash, and the vehicle was not part of a pursuit before the accident occurred. Police is investigating the Texas crash, and the victims' identities will be released once next of kin have been notified. Australia will create a $380 million Australian dollar repatriations fund for members of its indigenous population who were forcibly removed from families months after 800 survivors filed a class action lawsuit. Special forces of Russia and Uzbekistan took part in the joint exercises in Uzbekistan amid fears in both countries that a worsening security situation in Afghanistan could spill. Those separate drills are taking place on August 5th to 10th and involve Russian, Tajik and Uzbek forces. Drills involve more than 300 armored vehicles, 25 combat and transport helicopters and an undisclosed number of fighter and bomber jets as well as artillery. At least 17 people, including 7 of one family, were killed and 15 others injured in a lightning strike at Pankat, the Likhari ferry cart area in Bangladesh, northwestern district of Trapani Babaganj. In Turkey, firefighters on were battling 16 wildfires across the country. Yesterday, the fires spread to a power station in southwest after reducing swaths of coastal forest to ashes. Fanned by high temperatures and a strong dry wind, the blazes have forced thousands of Turks and foreign tourists to evacuate homes and hotels. So far, 8 people have died in the worst wildfires in years to come and thousands evacuated. In Greece, a rapidly moving wildfire on the island of Evia tore through dense pine forest, causing residents to flee and leaving gutted buildings. The blaze has worsened by changing winds. Coast Guard vessels picked up at least 50 people from a beach close to Rovis who were cut off by the fire. In Russia, summer wildfires produced a record amount of carbon emissions in the Siberian region of Yakutia on Wednesday. As per the European Union's Copernicus satellite monitoring unit, Russia is expected to see more weeks of the fire season. The United States condemned rocket attacks by armed groups based in Lebanon on Israel. State Department spokesman Ned Price said the U.S. will remain engaged with Israeli and Lebanese partners to de-escalate the situation. The world is concerned about the humanitarian crisis that is sweeping many parts of Afghanistan. The United Nations is deeply concerned about the safety and protection of tens of thousands of people in Afghanistan Lashkar-e-Ghahr who could be trapped by heavy fighting between Afghan government forces and the Taliban. The world is on the edge as the fighting rages in Afghanistan, terrified about the possibility of the Taliban gaining control of Afghanistan and its spillover effect on the immediate neighborhood. Bangladesh Railway has earned a record revenue of over 176 crore taka by carrying freight through the India-Bangladesh interchange points in the year 2020-2021. One of the biggest cities in the world, Sao Paulo, now boasts a bird's-eye view of its Brazilian concrete jungle. Sao Paulo's tallest building, the Miranda de Wall, has now featured a glass floor on its 42nd level that is putting a fear of heights to the test called Sampa Sky. The Sampa Sky will open to the public on 8th of August, but a selected few were treated to a special preview at the 557 feet tall building. The Sampa Sky was inspired by Sky Deck, which is 103rd floor of the Willis Tower in Chicago. Real snowfall fell heavily over parts of Bolivia and Peru on Tuesday and Wednesday, turning streets white and blanketing the buildings. In Bolivia's Potosi, temperatures tripped below 0, providing the perfect climate for the downpour of snow. Locals found a perfect moment to throw snowballs at each other. In Peru, vehicles were left stranded after snow covered the landscape, blanketing roads into a sheet of ice. The cold weather is expected to continue in Bolivia and Peru for the remainder of the week. 26 years after her death, late Tejano singer Selena Quintanilla Perez continues to be celebrated. This time, Tidal Wave Productions is releasing a comic book detailing her life in editions printed both in Spanish and English. The comic book is a company's Female Force series that also features Dolly Parton and former U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama. The 22-page book highlights Selena's upbringing and her rise to fame in the 1980s and 1990s. The publication will be released on 11th of August, 2021. How dangerous are tiger mosquitoes? It is a question that has been troubling scientists of Lebanese Institute for Agricultural Landscape Research located near Berlin. The reason for their worry is not small. Asian tiger mosquitoes that are other indigenous to South Asian climate are now spreading across Germany. The scientists think that climate change can be a cause of that. Asian tiger mosquitoes can transmit over 20 different pathogens, including chikungunya virus, the Zika virus as well. In Venezuela, Juan Carlos Rodriguez and his wife Heidi have opened a shelter for the vulnerable animals in their home in the lush suburbs of the capital Caracas. The home that shelters mostly sloths has been opened with a theme based on famous Hollywood movie Star Wars. Named Shuvi, the Gentleman Rescue Center, the shelter has so far rehabilitated more than 40 sloths and returned them to the wild. The first comprehensive scientific analysis of Stonehenge Imposing megaliths has revealed some of the traits that made them an exemplary building material for the famed monument in southern England, including their stout resistance to weathering. Researchers on Wednesday described a battery of examination that provided a glimpse inside one of Stonehenge's 52 sandstone megaliths. They studied a core sample extracted from one of the sarsens called Stone 58 during 1950s conservation work. It was kept in the United States for decades before being returned to Britain for research in the year 2018. The sarsens are made of stone called silkrete. The examination showed that the silkrete is comprised of mainly sand-sized quartz grains cemented tightly together by an interlocking mosaic of quartz crystals. In Vietnam, the artists have come up with a special song under the program known as the Song of Unity. The program focuses on bringing music to COVID-19 patients and healthcare staff to celebrate their spirit and give them a ray of hope. The artists at field hospitals in Thu Dok City performed many special songs about love and the spirit of people in the fight against the pandemic. Indian wrestler Ravi Daya took home the silver medal after narrowly losing 4-7 in the men's freestyle 57 kg weight category's finals to ROC Zavor Yukev. Wrestler Deepak Punia lost the bronze medal match to Argentina's Miles Amine in the dying moments. Earlier in the day, Indian men's hockey team scripted history with their stakes as they defeated Germany by 5-4 to win a bronze medal in Tokyo Olympics. For India, Simranjit Kaur scored 2 goals and Harmanpreet, Hardik, Rupinder Pal Singh scoring 1 goal each. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated the Indian men hockey team for winning bronze medal. Prime Minister spoke to the men's hockey team, Manpreet Singh, head coach Graham Reid and assistant coach Piyush Dubey. Union Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur too congratulated the men in blue for their performance. Wrestler Vinesh Phogat was defeated after Belarus' Vanessa Kalatzinskaya pinned her at the women's freestyle 53 kg quarterfinals event. Stephen Gardiner of the Bahamas added 400-meter Olympic gold to his 2019 World Championship success in a comfortable victory at the ongoing Tokyo Olympics. Katie Negotiate won gold in the women's pole vault at the ongoing Tokyo Olympics, clearing a height of 16 feet 1 inch to secure her stop atop the podium. Spain's Sandra Sanchez-Jamie won the first ever Olympic Games karate gold medal. She ensured her name would be in the sports history books by beating Japan's Kyo Shimizu in the women's kata final. Actor Shefali Shah has finished shooting for her much-awaited film Darlings, which also features Alia Bhatt, Vijay Varma and Roshan Mathew. Bollywood filmmaker Hansal Mehta has announced his next directorial feature titled Faraz, a taut action thriller depicting the holy artisan cafe attack that shook Bangladesh in the year 2016. Remembering the legendary single actor on his 92nd birth anniversary, Bollywood star Ayushmann Khurrana paid a special musical homage to Kishore Kumar by singing one of his iconic songs, Chhukar Mere Man Ko, on social media. A day after piquing the interest of fans by releasing the much-awaited trailer of Camila Cabello starrer Cinderella, Amazon Prime Video unveiled a vibrant ensemble poster of the film on Thursday. American actor Nicholas Hoult has been roped in to star in Universal's upcoming monster movie titled Renfield. The movie is based on the characters Dracula's unhinged acolyte. Apple has announced the release date of the film version of the Tony and Olivier award-winning hit musical Come From Away. The live-filmed version of the Broadway musical will premiere globally on Apple TV Plus on September 10th. The 65th BFI London Film Festival has said the world premiere of Netflix The Harder They Fall, directed by Londoner James Samuel, as its opening night film. It will screen on 6th of October at the South Bank Centre's Royal Festival Hall in the British capital. Comedian Louis C.K. has announced a 30-city stand-up tour, his first major gig since admitting in 2017 to sexual misconduct. The former star of TV comedy Louis announced dates on his website starting in mid-August in New York City and running through December. He will also perform in Ukraine, Germany, Denmark and Romania in early 2022. US singer Rihanna is now worth $1.7 billion according to Forbes, making her the wealthiest female musician in the world. Forbes estimates 80% of her fortune comes from the value of Fenty Beauty, a 50-50 joint venture with French luxury goods brand LVMH. And lastly, Meghan Markle celebrated her 40th birthday on Wednesday with a light-hearted video and an appeal for people to mentor women trying to get back into the workforce. Meghan teamed up with Bridesmaids actress Melissa McCarthy for the tongue-in-cheek video to launch her 40 into 40 initiative. And that's all for now, but news continues here on DD India. Keep watching. Namaskar.